What's up, guys? Welcome to B Sports Picks. So we're back in the green, 4-1 yesterday. We only had that one loss for Michigan. The other plays hit. I was actually on a live yesterday. I did like a 45-minute live, and then I cut up that video. It was about 20 minutes long. I showed every single reasoning why I was going to go with these plays. I'm going to show you the receipts on how all of them hit, except for that one Michigan play. And then I also have a few plays that I'm going to share with you that you guys can kind of consider what you're going to do. If you want the final picks, I'm going to give you the reasoning why I'm going with these plays. But if you want the actual final numbers and the final picks, they're going to be in the pinned comment under VIP. All right, the first one here, if you were here on this video yesterday, I talked about the Suns and the Magic going on the under. You can see they hit about 223 right there. We had it at a 230, so that won about 7 points. And this one was a little bit questionable. People were even saying like we should go on the over on this one and stuff like that in the comments. I didn't believe it. This was too heavy of a lean not to look at the under. I took it at a 233. They only ended up hitting 214. So this is almost about 19-point win right there. And then I also said take the Pistons. I like the Pistons actually on the spread. I took them on the spread as well. I actually had this one as well to get 10. He ended up hitting 17. And then I had the Pistons. This was a points, rebounds, and assists, a prop, and that hit. I also took the Pistons on the spread. People were saying something in the comments about the Bulls and stuff. I didn't believe any of it. I saw the numbers. I said the Pistons were supposed to win this pretty easily, and they did. And then I actually threw this one out live to the VIP yesterday. I put Ryan Garcia to win. He ended up winning every single round. It was a pretty easy win for him. And then I took the Knicks on the money line for today. Like I mentioned, the only loss was Michigan. So they just did not come through for us. So I'm going to talk about all the plays that I have for today. I'm going to give you the leans and stuff like that. The exact numbers are thrown in the VIP. Check out the pinned comment if you want access to those. I already threw out 4 different plays inside the VIP this morning. Something I like to look at is called correlation bets. These are not final plays. These are not what I'm taking. But I like to see if Kalshi, the prediction market, is going in the same direction as the line move. So all of these games right here are actually matching, like I said, as a correlation bet. You can take a look at these if you want. These are not my final plays. These are just strong indications that the line should be going in this direction. Now, before I get started, let me give you the points, rebounds, and assists. Again, these are not our final plays. These are just strong players that have been hitting their lines consistently. So one example I'll give you is Jamal Murray. He's hit this 35.5, 7 games in a row. And again, these are just hot streaks. You can take a screenshot if you want. Also, make sure you subscribe because we put these up in the posters every single day. Now, next thing I like to look at is called the SharpEdge. This right here gives you something called the line move tool. If you want access to this for 2 weeks, you can get it on the link in the description. And it just gives you literally where the lines are going. So, for example, the Mavericks, they started at a plus 1.5. And now they're currently at a minus 1.5. So that is actually a 3-point line move, and they went from underdog to favorite. It gives you all the money and the bets and stuff like that. Also, the Trailblazers, they flipped from an underdog to a favorite. I actually like this one. You can see that it started at a plus 3.5. They're currently at a minus 3.5. So that's actually a 7-point line move for the Trailblazers. Then you got the unders over here, and then it tells you the little green symbols here of how much the line moved by. So, for example, it started at 231. It's currently at a 226, and so on. I'm not going to show all of these, but this is a great tool to have to see where the lines are shifting to. Same thing with college. There's 2 plays right there to take a look at. Now, let me show you the dashboard real quick. Right here, it tells you all the back-to-back. So, again, this tool is called the SharpEdge. It has a lot of information. So check this out. This is the back-to-back. So what this tells you is the back-to-back of who played yesterday and who's playing again today. So you can see Philly played yesterday and Minnesota has a 1-day rest advantage. New York Knicks are playing Chicago. They both played yesterday, so there is no rest advantage. But whenever 2 teams play and then they play again, both teams are tired and one of them traveled. So you have to look at the under. You have Phoenix that played yesterday. Portland has a 1-day rest advantage. Orlando played yesterday. Clippers have a 1-day rest advantage. If you scroll down here, I'm going to kind of give you the numbers. Cleveland is supposed to win. Hawks is supposed to win. Raptors is supposed to win. Nuggets is supposed to win. Mavericks and Pacers is too close to call. Hornets is supposed to win. Lakers are supposed to win. Timberwolves are supposed to win. And then you can see the little back-to-back. Like I said, the 76ers are on a back-to-back. Timberwolves have a 1-day rest advantage. Both of these teams played yesterday. The Knicks are supposed to win pretty easily right there. And then the Trailblazers and the Suns is too close to call. And then the Trailblazers have a one-day rest advantage. Also, Magic and Clippers too close to call. And then the Clippers have a one-day rest advantage. So again, the reason this is important is if one of the teams is tired and the other one is rested, especially if one of them traveled, then you should be really looking at the other team. If both of them played, then you should be looking on the under. So again, I'm going to go pretty quickly through these. And if you want access to all the ones that I just threw out this morning for the VIP, check us out for 1 day, 1 week, 1 month. The link is in the pinned comment. So right here, the Trailblazers, like I mentioned, it started at a plus 3.5. They went from underdog to favorite. That's actually a 7-point line move. Don't cover spreads, so be careful with that. If you're going to take them on the money line or plus 3.5, whatever you need to do right there. You can see they're pretty standard, meaning that they're 50-50 chance they're going to hit right here. And then we look at the injury report. You can see Booker is still out, and that affects the Suns, and they're on a back-to-back. So I really do like the Trailblazers in this position. Now we're going to go to the Hornets game and the Wizards. I like the under on this one. You can see it's 120 and 108. Again, if you want the exact lines that I'm taking, go to the link in the comments. So if we do the math right here, it's 128. The line started at a 231 and went down to a 226. You can see whenever the Wizards played in the last 8 games, they've gone 75% on the under. I did all the math over here. The only thing that does suck about this is that their defense is just horrible. So if they start getting blown out like it should be, they do score a lot of points. So you got to be careful with that. However, take a look at this too. Look at all the injuries on this. There's literally about 8 or 9. What is this? 8, 9, almost 9 people on the injury report. So that is going to affect their scoring dramatically. I really like the under on the Hornets and the Wizards game. One last thing I'll note on this game is that 85% of the bets and 87% of the money is coming in on the over, yet the line is shifting down. So that's considered a reverse line move. Next game is the same thing. Well, not the same thing, but it's actually a reverse line move. You can see if we do the math right here, that's 228. The line started at a 228. It went down to a 226. 90% of the bets, 89% of the money is coming in on the over, yet the line is shifting down 2 points. OKC and the last 6 games, they've gone 83% on the under. You can see they have amazing defense, both of these guys. So that's going to affect the under. That's going to affect the over because they're going to be scoring less because of this great defense. This is one of the best defenses in the league. If we go to the injury report, Shea Alexander is missing for today, and Strus is missing on this side. But the big one is Alexander. He scores about 35 points, so that's already off the board. They're also missing Jalen Williams, Caruso. The one thing that sucks about Caruso is that he's a great defender, so that does affect the under a little bit. But again, without him scoring over here, should be a pretty easy under. And the best thing I like about this game, you can see the opponent's points per game. It's 116 and 106. This really matters because, like I said, if they have such great defense, do the math here. It's 116 and 106. What is that? 222. Now, again, if we go back up here, this says that this line shifted all the way down to 226. So this should be a pretty easy hit because of the great defense and the injuries. So to confirm, I do like the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Thunder on the under. Last one I'll talk about here is the Magic and the Clippers, again on the under. You can already see this is a back-to-back situation over here. So that affects the over already because they're tired. The line started at 221. They went down all the way to 215. So it's a 6-point line move. 79% of the bets, 77% of the money is coming in on the over. So again, it's a reverse line move. All 3 of these games I have shown are reverse line moves. Now we look at the projections over here. You can see they have amazing defense. Again, A+ grade. This is a A grade. So both of these teams have amazing defense. We go to the injury report. Franz Wagner is one of the best scorers for Magic, and they're traveling and they're on a back-to-back. So all those reasons are going to affect the over. So again, this is a 108, that's a 216, and the line is all the way down to about 215. So I really like the under on this play because of the line move and all the reasoning I just showed. All right, guys, I really do appreciate you all. I'm going to show you one more screenshot. Again, if you want access to the exact slips that I'm taking, I already threw them out this morning. The link is in the description and the pinned comments. Here's the 4 slips that I threw out this morning, 4 different plays. One of them is a parlay, and 3 of them are straight picks. Also, make sure you check out the SharpEdge. That is 2 weeks for free. And I just showed you, I finally took my time and updated it yesterday. It took me a few hours, and now it's super clean. It's, as you saw, all the numbers are legit. Everything is working, functional. So I'm very, very proud of that tool. Make sure you go check that out. 2 weeks for free. Link is in the description. And if you want the final picks, again, that's going to be in the pinned comments. Thank you so much. Let's have a great day. We're about to cross 4,400 subscribers. Let's get to 5,000. Thank you.